There we go. Okay, e4. Let's see. What have I played? I played a Sicilian and e5 and Lechen's defense. Maybe a French defense. Oh, the Winawer. Okay. Usually leads to a fun game. He's pausing to think. Okay, well that is an unusual response. Okay, so I guess he didn't like the main line of the Winawer. I think they usually push the pawn and then kick the bishop. That's their usual strategy. Here he's offering to lose a tempo, I guess. But there may be more to it than that. I don't know. I'm just not familiar with this line. Or maybe he's improvising. I was thinking that knight to d5 might be pretty dangerous. So he moves the bishop there. So if I play knight d5, is he going to play bishop takes d5? I can take back with the queen, actually. I can play c5 here. Or I could castle. Or I could do that knight d5. He could also just defend, unpin, and then I have to take. c5 is the typical move you play in the French to bust up the center, but there's no big center to bust up here. Let's start by castling and see how he plans to develop. His bishop is blocking his knight. He can play knight e2 maybe, or maybe he wants to bring the knight out to h3 to f4. Yeah, knight e2. So do I want the c-pawn forward? The bishop is looking at the b7 square and the a8 rook indirectly, keeping this bishop tied down. So there's something to be said for pawn to c4, pawn to c5 rather, and knight to c6. If he takes, I take with the queen. If he pushes, I take with the knight while this guy is still pinned. Okay, so he brings his bishop out and defends the pawn. And so I need to take, because he's threatening to take that pawn. And he can take with the knight or the bishop, either one. He wants to go with the bishop. Okay, so I was thinking knight to c6. Maybe he plans to play bishop takes c6. That would mess up my pawns, but it would give me the bishop pair, and it would relieve some of the pressure on this diagonal. So I think that's a reasonable trade for me. He might also throw in bishop takes here, but that would be giving up two bishops. He just drops the bishop back. Okay, if I play rook to b8, he's got bishop to f4, harassing that rook, which is kind of annoying. Our queens are facing each other, so he could take my queen off at some point. Taking here doesn't seem to gain anything, right? Bishop takes, he just takes back with the knight. Okay, it's kind of a waiting move. If I play queen to c7 and he goes bishop f4, I can push the pawn forward because it's covered by the queen and the knight. If he plays bishop takes knight, I have pawn takes bishop. I'm just looking for a way to develop my bishop to b7. That would be a better, more active placement for that bishop. I do have to worry if I've deserted the king side a little bit too much. But given time, my plan is to play b5 and bishop b7. And then my rooks are safe and connected. My pieces are safe. So probably I should drop back to e7. That's in case he decides to pin this knight or harass it with his bishop. And, I could have gone with bishop to d6. That would have been interesting too. But he probably would have just played h3. Doesn't lead to a whole lot, it seems to me. So he puts his knight there. Okay, so now I have time for b5, right? He can't. This knight is pinned. But he can't attack it that I see. Which allows me one more move to play bishop b7 and unpin it. So, interesting position. There's a little bit of asymmetry. I have an extra pawn on the king side. He has an extra pawn on the queen side. All the pieces are on. And we are just kind of maneuvering here. There's only one clearly open file. That's the d file. And we may end up exchanging rooks on the d file. There's an outpost from my knight on c4, which is looking interesting. Okay, I can't let the d file go unchallenged. I have to keep something on the d file. So I'm thinking of this knight maneuver, knight to a4 to a5 to c4. Let's see. There's also knight to knight to e5 to c4 is a route too. That hits his bishop. If he pins my knight, I can take his bishop with check. And he has to take back with a pawn. Then I can grab his bishop, and my rook is defended. Yeah, so knight e5 is maybe the more active way to get to c4. He can, of course, exchange rooks with check at any time. I'll have to take with the bishop, I guess. Want to take with the bishop. He takes there. Okay, yeah, that's logical. And my rook is still defended. My knight is loose. But it's not getting pinned now. And it's still got this c4 square to go to, where it hits the bishop and it hits the pawn on b2. So those trades, the knight could also go to g4. Anyway, those trades, I don't know if they helped me, but I don't think they helped white, at least. I think maybe he felt necessary to trade. Both of us have potential back rank issues. There's no rooks to guard the back rank. Actually, white has the easier defense, so white's king is more secure. With this knight on g3, it can always hop back to f1 to block any checks along the back rank, whereas I don't have that. So creating some luft for my king is probably in order as well. Yeah, so immediately taking advantage of that. Do I want to go into this endgame with just minor pieces? That would solve my back rank problems. And I still have this good post for my knight. So I could take with the f knight and then get this knight to c4. He can block that, of course, by playing b3, which is what I would play in that position, but he may have other ideas, so we'll see what he comes up with here. Getting his knight active that way. Yeah, he's got a good square here to drop into. Okay, let's take take this knight c4 square while I've got it. And he just brings his bishop back to defend. Let's kick this knight away. I wanted to play bishop to f6. I didn't want my bishop traded off, so I wanted to kick that knight. Knight goes back there. Ah, I see. Let's go this way. I want to keep that knight there for a little while longer and get bishop f3 in, which threatens, and that defended this pawn. Okay, so he solved all his problems here. See, I can attack his knight with bishop f6, rather. I said f3, I think. Bishop f6, he takes my knight, I take his knight. He takes a pawn, I take a pawn. And then it's his turn to move, and he's got, I've got one pawn holding back two. That's not bad for me. This is probably just a draw, or ought to be a draw. He's got other things he could try. He could try defending the knight with the bishop. No, he can't. He can move the knight. And that knight doesn't have so many good squares. But, well, neither does my knight. So, yeah, he drops his knight back to e2, say. I could come over here. Knight to... I don't want to block my bishop. Maybe knight to d6. Knight b6 to d5, maybe. Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. After the knight moves, it's probably time to start bringing the king forward and trying to make something of the central, extra central pawn. Also get my king closer to the queen side where white has the extra passed pawn. Okay, yeah, so he did decide to move. Okay, so from there he can hop into this square. I can defend here. He can attack my knight. Yeah, so my idea was to defend with the king this way. Goes there, so I want to push this pawn forward. I don't want his knight sitting in that good square. Okay, he's hitting my pawn over here. Let's see, and has he got a check? No, but he has a threat to my bishop if he wants it. So I push the pawn forward. He can attack it again. I push it forward again. He can check. That's looking dangerous. Yeah, these endgames can be tricky. Just because they should be drawn doesn't mean they will be drawn. So knight to b2 is a big, knight b7 is a big threat. Hits the pawn. I didn't play it. Okay, that's good. So let's step forward to get out of that check idea. And knight b7 back to d6 was a big threat there. So I think I need to, well, I could defend this pawn. Let's hold on to that pawn for a moment longer. You know, he may try and force me to push that pawn forward by playing f4. Yeah, so now I finally have to push. But this gave me a protected passed pawn. So we'll see if that's worth something. I'm thinking knight to yeah, I wanted to go knight d5 and then pawn to b4 to try and clamp down on his extra pawn over here. But after knight d5, he can play c4 immediately. I take, he takes. And then I have to move the knight. How about if I play b4 first? He takes, I take, and he can't actually come here to attack it again. So if I can get this b pawn holding back these pawns, this is a good configuration for me. Now I just march my king in. Whenever you have one pawn holding back two pawns, that's a good thing in the endgame. Of course, it'd be even better if there weren't knights on, but can't have everything. Okay, I want to go to that square, so if his king comes forward, I can check it back. Yeah, I was worried he could have played knight here check. That might have been something a little bit dangerous. So now I can start bringing my knight in. So pawn forward check, knight takes, right? I can push that pawn forward. I can also take over here. Then go back. I still have pawn forward check. But I have f4 might even be stronger, because if he takes, I take with the knight. If he doesn't take, then I get a pair of passed pawns. Yeah, so now it's 1 pawn to 1 over here, 2 to 1 over here, and 2 in the center. Yeah, so he dissolves that 1 pawn. I saw he could do that. So he's going to take with the knight. But my pawn is quicker here, right? So I'm going to go here immediately with the check. He's got to move his king somewhere that defends the knight. Okay, so if I push my pawn forward, he can take it, I take back, and my knight will still have time to round this guy up, I guess, right? Pawn here, knight takes, he pushes. Knight here, he pushes. Knight here, he pushes, I take it. Okay, I think that's correct. So he can't just give up the knight, so he's got to do something else. If I push forward, his king could come to this square. That's the problem. Okay, he's got checks here and here with his knight. After I move my knight away, he can check me. I want to check his king away, further away, and I want to attack this pawn. So where's a good square to do that to? Here, right? So let's bring my knight here. This is a winning king and pawn endgame, so if he takes my knight, I think I'm in good shape. I thought I was in good shape. Ooh, yeah, maybe I miscalculated this endgame, because I can't defend that pawn. I can win this pawn. It's a draw. I mean, I'm close enough to, he has to come over and take this pawn. So I'm close enough to stop his pawn from queening. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, so he offered a draw. Yeah, that's a draw. Well, I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.